Welcome to Splendid Tales, where silence speaks louder than violence and karma always keeps perfect timing. The locker bay smelled of chalk and cheap cologne. Henry Leonard stood with his back to the steel doors, eyes calm, posture straight. He was the new kid, quiet, polite, and easy prey for bored egos. Brett, the self-crowned king of the hallway, strutted up with two shadows at his sides. Nice shoes, new kid. You steal those from a charity bin? Laughter cracked like firecrackers. Henry looked at them, voice even. Can I get to my class? Brett grinned. Aw, he talks. Gonna run to the teacher too? Before Henry could answer, Mr. Walsh, the history teacher, appeared like a flicker of authority. What's happening here? Nothing, sir, just welcoming him. Brett lied smoothly. Henry, you okay? Mr. Walsh asked. Henry gave a calm nod. Yes, sir, everything's fine. The teacher frowned, then walked off. Brett waited until the echo of footsteps died. Didn't snitch? Smart, maybe you do know your place. He kicked Henry's bag, books spilled across the floor. You know, pick them up, charity case. Henry's voice didn't rise. Enjoy your day, Brett, you'll remember it. Later, when the hallway emptied, Henry's jaw tightened. The lessons from his father echoed. Control is power. Use it only when needed. And today, it was needed. If you're feeling the tension already, you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe for more fire stories from Splendid Tales. The bell rang for gym class, and fate smiled wickedly. Henry walked in, quiet as usual. Brett and his crew, Mason and Tyler, lounged near the bleachers, smirking like hyenas waiting for lunch. Hey, charity boy, Brett called. Heard you don't fight. What, scared you'll break a nail? Laughter exploded. Henry didn't answer. He was tightening his sneakers, deliberate, calm. The gym lights glared overhead, the smell of sweat thick in the air. Coach Dunn tossed a basketball. Teams of four, keep it clean. Brett's grin widened. Oh, we'll keep it fun, coach. The game began. Chaos and sneakers squeaking. Brett body checked Henry once, twice, then elbowed him in the ribs. Oops, he sneered. Clumsy. Henry exhaled slowly, every move measured. His father's words echoed, never start the fight, but finish it so well no one ever starts it again. The next time Brett lunged, Henry moved. A blur. One pivot, a clean grab, and Brett hit the floor. Not hard, just enough to stun him. The gym froze. What was that? Mason barked, charging. Henry stepped aside, swept his leg, Mason dropped. Tyler hesitated, eyes wide. Henry straightened his shirt. You said I didn't belong here, he said quietly, but maybe you don't belong in control. Coach turned just in time to see Brett sprawled on the floor, groaning. Everything all right here? Henry smiled faintly. Yes, sir. Just a lesson in balance. If Henry's calm is giving you chills, like, comment, and subscribe for more from Splendid Tales. The storm's only warming up. By lunch, the story had spread. The quiet kid dropped Brett in gym class. Whispers followed Henry down the hall, but he ignored them. Calm face, focused steps. But inside, something was coiled tight, not anger, just purpose waiting for release. Brett wasn't finished. He stormed toward Henry near the courtyard, flanked by his goons again. Think you're tough, huh? He spat. You embarrassed me in front of everyone. Henry didn't stop walking. You embarrassed yourself. That line hit harder than any punch. Brett's pride cracked. He shoved Henry against the locker, fury glowing in his eyes. Say that again. Henry's voice stayed level. No. Then came the shove. Then another. Mason tried to hold Henry's arms while Brett swung, sloppy, blind rage. And that's when the quiet broke. Henry moved with ghost-like precision. One twist. Mason's grip vanished. A sidestep, Brett's punch met air. A clean hook to the chest sent Brett stumbling. Another pivot, a leg sweep. Tyler crashed beside him. Henry didn't hit hard, he hit smart, controlled, technical. Years of discipline turned into a storm of balance and intent. The crowd gasped. Brett lay there, clutching his ribs, eyes wide with humiliation. Henry leaned close enough for only him to hear. Next time, use your mouth for apologies, not insults. He turned, adjusting his backpack, walking away as phones recorded. If you felt that shift, from silence to power, like, comment, and subscribe to Splendid Tales. Justice just found its rhythm. The principal's office hummed with tension. Brett sat with an ice pack on his jaw, face blotched with anger and embarrassment. Mr. Walsh stood nearby, arms folded. Henry entered last, his calm still untouched. Walsh sighed. I heard there was a fight. Henry, is that true? Henry met his eyes. There was a misunderstanding, sir. It's been handled. Brett slammed the desk. He jumped us. He's a psycho. Walsh turned. Henry? Henry shrugged lightly. Maybe he tripped on his ego. Even the principal fought a smirk. We don't tolerate violence, but multiple students confirmed you were provoked. You'll both serve detention, nothing more. Outside the office, Brett muttered, "This isn't over." Henry adjusted his backpack, tone quiet but razor sharp. "It never is until you learn." He stepped closer. "You wanted to prove you're strong. I showed you what control looks like. Real strength doesn't need an audience." Brett looked away, silence finally replacing his arrogance. As Henry walked down the hall, the same students who'd once laughed now watched with respect. He didn't smile, didn't gloat. Justice wasn't about applause, it was about balance restored. He glanced at his reflection in the glass door. Calm eyes, still water, unmoved. Restraint is power, he thought, and power doesn't shout. This is Splendid Tales, where silence hits harder than revenge and every story lands with justice. If you felt that ending, like, comment, and subscribe. More stories that sting and heal are on the way.